Hi, I'm Elisa. Welcome to my channel, and today we are going to be talking about the makeup that I used in Q2 of 2025. So this year I am doing a Project Pan, but I am also trying to use all of the color products in my collection. So my pan has concealer, skincare, foundation, base products, but all of the blush, bronzers, highlights, eyeshadow palettes, lipsticks, all of that. I did not put a single color product into my pan because I want to touch and use everything in my collection this year so that I know how I feel about it and I can declutter anything that I am not vibing with anymore or that has expired. So Q2 was not as successful as Q1. I had kind of like assigned a palette a month and I got definitely behind, so I'm going to be playing some catch up here July through October, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. I have a palette coming up here that's way out of my comfort zone, but also I need to be wearing more makeup if I want to be able to successfully do this project challenge. So obviously there were 3 months in Q2 and I was supposed to be focusing on 3 palettes, but I only actually ended up using 1.5, and I ended up using and grabbing some of my smaller palettes, my like Natasha Denona mini palettes for things like weddings and other events that I had, because I was comfortable with them and I felt like I knew what I wanted to do with them. Whereas with some of these palettes I was kind of like, not sure I want to wear that to a wedding. So the palette I used every single color of was my Urban Decay Naked palette, and I enjoyed this just as much as I did when I was in high school, probably a little bit less. The formula in this leaves a little bit to be desired. I think it was amazing back in like 2013. It was a really like amazing product and formula. Now I think there are better formulas that are softer, more blendable, sparklier eyeshadows out there, but I still really liked this. I still think it's very much my vibe. I have gotten rid of all of the other Naked palettes that I owned. This one I have repurchased. This is not my original Naked palette, I'll say that. It is not that old. However, I had a lot of fun wearing this again. I had a very difficult time wearing these shades, just as I did back when I owned this in high school. My favorites are right through here, for sure. My favorite of all time being Sidecar. I just love the way Sidecar looks all over the lid. It just is my perfect color right there. You can probably tell that that was used more than all the others. I also love Sin. Sin's really nice, especially in the inner corner. I remember I used to use this all over the lid, and now I did that one time and I was like, that's a little light. That's a little much for 29-year-old me. But this is still a really good palette in my opinion, and I understand why I loved it so dearly. Yeah, no, there's just absolutely no way that these are in my regular rotation. So that was a fun little challenge, but I did use every color. And then the palette I only got halfway through is the Pat McGrath Mothership palette. This is a gorgeous palette. Like, it is so pretty. It has so much dimension. So many of these shimmer shades like do so much more when you put them on the eye. They look like fine in the palette, but then you put them on and it's like, oh my god, that has so much dimension and so much interest. I really do love this palette. I find these colors to be more difficult, obviously less neutral, so it's harder to kind of just throw on like the Naked palette is. However, I still love this formula. I love this palette, and I am going to finish it up. I can't quite remember. I have a log of what I have and haven't used. I don't think I've used these purples, either of these, and I know I haven't used the darker shade. I want to say I've used all of the shimmers because I just love the shimmers. They are my favorite part of this palette. Yeah, just think I just need to like have a purple day one day and use the mattes in here, because even just as like a wash over the eye with nothing else, these are gorgeous. So I am loving this palette. It's just a little bit trickier. So the palettes, in addition to that I will be focusing on over the next few months for the summer, the Carli Bybel Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. This is gorgeous. Like, ridiculously gorgeous. And I think I've talked about this in my last update for this, but like, I could just stare at this all day. It's very different than everything else I own, and I think that is why I'm scared of it. I don't wear color pretty much ever. So this will be a challenge and definitely out of my comfort zone, but I own it. So I should use it. I have gotten rid of all of my other color palettes except this one, and I am kind of excited to just do a wash because these aren't crazy. Like, they're not crazy colorful. They are more muted for color. It's just more than I'm used to. And then last up, making our way into fall, is the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. This is a cult classic. This was the palette once upon a time. People were obsessed with this, and I got this with like points or something, like a Sephora, or on, it was like during a Sephora sale or something. I don't remember what it was, but I have not used this nearly as much as I thought I would. I think I really have moved away from the warmer colors in a lot of instances, and I love my mini Sunset palette. I use the crap out of that. It has a color story that makes sense to me, so I just use that. I started to really struggle with larger palettes, so this will be yet again more of a challenge, but they're just gorgeous. Like that yellow, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I'm excited. Going to fall, I think this is perfect. Okay, let's now talk about highlighters. So this is my favorite thing that has ever existed. This is the Laura Mercier Matte Radiance Baked Powder in 01. It's so pretty. It is so subtle with this gorgeous glow. It never looks like too much. I accidentally put this all over my face one day because I was in a huge hurry getting ready, and I usually like dust my Hourglass, the ambient lighting powder, just all over my face, and I just picked this up, dusted it all over my face, and then I was like, wait. And so I did like kind of blend it out a little bit, but it looked decent. Like, it was diffused down a lot, but like it didn't look awful. I love this. This is probably my favorite highlight, which is so funny because it is much more subtle than every other highlight that I own, and I used to be quite the blinding highlight queen. So the fact that my new favorite highlight is a normal neutral color and very subtle, crazy. This was the other highlight that I was focusing on. This is the Natasha Denona Super Glow in 01 Fair. I don't love this, and I am decluttering it. I don't even know why that is that I don't love it. I just put it on, and I don't even know if you can see it in this lighting. I just am not like impressed. I feel like I have other things that I like so much more than this. I feel like, I mean, the tones are different, but yeah, the tones are pretty different. And on camera, they don't look different, but like in real life, this has more of like a warmth to it. I just don't like it. I don't think I like the formula that much. I'm not sure if mine has gotten old or what it is. I'm just not impressed with this, and I'm gonna get rid of it because I now know that I don't love it all that much, so I'm not gonna reach for it. So for highlights this go around, I have 3 of them. One is a liquid highlight from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Beauty Light Wand in Spotlight. Mine is a mess because I accidentally, oh wait, no, this doesn't look quite as bad as it used to. I don't love this. I don't love liquid cream product. This just, I'm not that girl. I am a powder girl. However, I have reached for this a couple times, obviously new quarter, and I don't hate it. It is my least favorite of the liquid products that I have right now, but I don't hate it. So I think I might just keep this in till the end of the year and then probably toss it. It is not super old, but it is probably coming up on the end of its life considering it's a liquid product. I will continue to use this, see how I feel, and then one day might get sick of it, but we'll see. The other two, we have the Makeup Forever Pro Light Fusion in 01. I remember getting this because I was obsessed with it. It is still so pretty. Like, it is still very, very pretty. I haven't actually reached for this yet. I've been playing around with the Charlotte Tilbury one, and I'm excited to see this on the face and how I feel about it. I was such, obviously, like I said, a blinding highlight girl, but I was also a colored highlight girl, and if you can kind of tell, there's a pinky shade to that. So I have gotten rid of most of my pinky or colored highlights, so I'm excited to see what I think of this now. Then we have another favorite. This is the Rare Beauty Enlighten, or highlighter in Enlighten. This is the lightest shade. It's like white. However, on the skin, because I am very pale, it's just really pretty. Yeah, you can see that. It just gives that not at all subtle blinding highlight look that I love, but like blended out, it looks just gorgeous. It just looks really nice. It looks really good because I'm really pale, and I love everything Selena Gomez makes. So let's talk about the bronzer. So Tom Ford Tantastic Omega Bronzer. This was such a thing when this was released and then re-released. Like, people were obsessed with this. I distinctly remember when I bought this, so I know how old this is. I know it's really old. It doesn't smell of coconut anymore. It smells like nothing. I hate how pigmented this is. That sounds crazy. I don't like it at all. I feel like I pick it up and my skin immediately looks muddy. I am very, very pale, as I have mentioned, and as you can tell. So bronzer, it can't, first of all, pick up all that much and like dump it on my face. It also can't be super pigmented. I have to be able to build it up. I have to have a lot of control or it'll look crazy immediately. I had to be insanely careful with this or it would just look crazy and awful on my skin. So I am decluttering this, which is crazy. And I also think I like knew that about this blush or bronzer. I think I was very aware of what this product did on my face. It's a fine like tone on my face, but I was very aware that I had to be very careful with it. And I think I kept it just because it's Marc Jacobs. I do love the packaging. I think it's gorgeous. I understand why people loved this so much. I am just too pale for it. So it is going. And what's interesting about that is that means I have two bronzers, I want to say, in my collection, one of which is in the Charlotte Tilbury Duo, which I like a lot, and the other one is this. This is the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker Bronzer in Into Sun. So these got mixed reviews when they came out because people were talking about how they weren't super pigmented and you had to build them up, which is perfect for me. This is a great tone for me. It is a great texture. It is very, very buildable, and it is very, very initially light. Like, there's just not a lot of pigment to it, and I love that. I have so much control with this, and I need that because I am so insanely pale. So I am very excited to be using this again. I will probably use it for the rest of the year. And then with that, I have the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand Easy Contour in Fair Medium. So I literally use the smallest amount of this and I just kind of dot it where I want it, set it, put the Fenty on top, and it gives me a very nice glow contour look. So I will continue to use this. Like I said, liquid cream product, not really my thing, but these are really nice, especially in the hotter months where I don't want to like cake on the powder. I kind of just like put this on, and if it wears off, it wears off. I'm not really all that worried. On to blushes. So I had my 3 Clinique Cheek Pop blushes. So this is Pansy Pop, Super Pinky Purple, perfect shade for the summer. Love this. I love that they are buildable. I love that they don't come off onto the cheeks immediately like purple. So this was a super nice wash of color, a little bit more color than I normally wear, and I loved it. Same goes for Melon Pop. Orangey, definitely not a color I would normally reach for, but because it's so buildable and like a nice wash, gorgeous. Honestly, some of my favorite blush formulas, and better than that palette I had at the beginning of the year. Like the color payoff is so much better. I just feel like the other ones, it's just, they're not it. They're not it, but I still own them. I haven't gotten rid of them. And then finally we have Fig Pop. This was a really nice, more neutral one for those days when I didn't want like orange or purple. So now I have two blushes that I will be focusing on, both of which are Rare Beauty. So this is the powder blush in Cheer. These I really, really like because they are not sparkly, but there's a shine to them and they look beautiful on the cheeks. I feel like these pair really nicely together. This is her liquid blush in Bliss. So I dot a couple of dots of this. I set my makeup, I put this over top. It looks very nice, it stays a while, and it's just a nice little duo. I really like these products, so I will continue to use them until next quarter. For my ambient lighting, I am still using Ethereal Light. I will go back to diffused light at the end of the year, but for now, this is working great. Through my rotation, I used 5 perfumes that were not ones that I was panning. So we have, this is, who is this by? Oh my god, Versace? Is this Versace? I feel like this is Versace. I am having a brain fart. This is Dylan Blue. So once upon a time, I loved this scent, and now I don't know if it's because it brings up iffy memories for me, or if I just don't love it all that much, but I don't love it all that much. I don't really know. I don't have a ton, well, I still have quite a bit left. However, it's just not my favorite anymore, and it did go on my potential pan list, which was shocking because this was one of the ones that when I looked at it, I was like, I love that perfume. I never want to like hurry through it because I like it so much. Not the case anymore. Similar thing with this. This is Nest Indigo, and I think this has changed a little bit because it still has the scent that I like, but there's like an undertone to it now that I don't think it had before that tells me I think it is getting old. So this has also gone on my pan list because of the fact that it is changing. It's not bad, I just feel, this is gonna sound weird, but I'm more aware that it's a perfume, if that makes sense. I'm not sure. It smells more perfumey. I'm not sure how that, I don't know how to describe it, but that's what it makes me think of. So while I still like it, it's definitely getting old. Jo Malone Peony and Blush Suede. I just love Jo Malone fragrances. There is something about them. I know they don't have the greatest wear time, but I have always felt that I could bathe in this and it would be still perfect. It would still not be too much. This is just a lovely scent. It's powdery, but it's not grandma like that suede just gives it more of a modern powder feel. Like, I am not a floral perfume girl all that much. Like, I like fresher scents, but this is like a powdery floral that I still love and I still just want to wear. I'm not like, oh god, this just smells lovely and I'm happy to own it. This was kind of a surprise. This is Jimmy Choo. I don't remember. It's a floral one. It's a Jimmy Choo. Ooh, I don't remember what this is called. I do love the bottle on this a lot. And I kind of thought this was one of those ones. I got this in Dylan Blue around the same time. I was having relationship problems and I was self-soothing by buying perfume I didn't need. And I remember Dylan Blue being like a favorite and this one being like, yeah, that's fine. Wearing this, I was obsessed with it and I still am. Like, I smell this and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's fine. But like putting it on and like with my body chemistry, I would get a whiff of it like mid-morning and I'd be like, oh my god, I really like that. So This is a surprise. I did not think I was gonna love this as much as I did. And that's the thing about having 30 perfumes, is you have an idea of how you feel about something and then it just completely blows you away. So very pleasantly surprised with this one. And then we have one that I knew I loved and I just was so happy to get to wear, and that is Gucci Flora Gorgeous Gardenia. This is Gorgeous Gardenia. I think the perfume I get out of the perfume set where you get to like pick a full size or whatever is going to be the Gorgeous Magnolia Gucci Flora, because these just smell amazing and it's very me. I think some perfumes, they just smell like I can tell I'm gonna like it. I don't know what it is. It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna like that. Like I smell it and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put that on and I'm really gonna like it. And my mom says the same thing. She's like, it smells like a you scent. I just love this and I don't know what it is about it. Like I just said I'm not a floral girl, but like Gucci Flora is like one of my favorite perfumes. There's something about this. It just, oof. And I love the Gorgeous Magnolia as well. People said it was like Grown Up Wonderstruck by Taylor Swift. I don't quite get that, but I still really like it. This is lovely and it was a joy to wear. And now we're gonna talk about the lipsticks that I used. I'm gonna try to like rapid fire my way through these, but we'll see. The first ones I wanna touch on are these two. They are both Taupe by MAC. This one is in their original matte formula. This is in their Maximal matte formula. They are the same color, and I did decide ultimately to keep this one and declutter this one because I just like the way it wore more. I obviously like the color because I owned 2 of them, but yeah, so this is staying, this is going. I think I've talked about that I'm decluttering this, but just an update. Another MAC lipstick that I was able to use is the matte Love Me lipstick in Moncoeur, I don't know. It is more of a pinky purple, but it's still pretty neutral on the lips. Like it's not too bright. It's a very nice summer color because of that, and I am keeping it. To Charlotte Tilbury, this is Pillow Talk, which is just a great lipstick. I wore this to a wedding in March. It's gorgeous. It is a cult favorite for a reason. It is just a great shade. And then I wore Dance Floor Princess to the other wedding we had this quarter, and kind of similar, but an amazing formula as well. And I just love Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks so much. Another MAC. This is the MAC 24-Hour Lipstick in Sophistry. I don't know. This I am getting rid of. I had kind of touched on a few lipsticks in my Q1 that I was unsure of. I did decide to get rid of Posh. I'm getting rid of this one. I think I'm getting rid of most of the ones I talked about in that video. This is just one that I used this quarter and realized I don't love and I don't need. Let's finish up the MAC products. These are 2 liners. This is Spice and this is Whirl. These are really nice. I believe I owned Whirl previously, but it had dried out and the formula was just getting really hard to get on the lips. Having new ones, I'm like, oh, yeah, I understand. These are really nice. So I am excited to own these, especially in little minis, because I feel like there's a better chance that I will use all of these, whereas a full size, I'm never getting through. And I think the rest of the things I used were like oil balm products. So we have the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm in, I almost said vegan, that's funny. Oh, Pink Sugar. So this one is very, very like subtle. It's a very subtle pink. I think most people have seen this. I do really like this, however, because I don't need a mirror to reapply. It gives me like a very, very, very light wash of color and moisture. I really like the way these feel on the lips. Like it a lot. Another one I really like the feel of is the Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment in Cocoa Cream. I bought this last VIB sale, or a year ago in the VIB sale, and it was the only one my store had, and that's why I got this color. But honestly, I'm glad I did, because it's not a color I would have bought otherwise, and it is very different than all of my other lip oils. All my other lip oils are very like bright, lighter colors. this is perfect for a kind of a deeper look, and they just feel so nice. 2 Polite Society Polite Pout Glossy Lip Balms. I got both of these in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale in the fall. This is Pink Grapefruit and this is Bumbleberry. I don't love these as much as I love my other balm products for sure. I just find these very subtle and I don't feel like they feel as nice on the lips, but they are fine. I will continue to use them. I believe last balm product, this is the Laneige Gummy Bear Lip Glowy Balm. I really like the Lip Glowy Balms. I have a peppermint one that I don't put in this because it's not part of the rotation. I just have it at my desk at work and I just love it. Like, I'm also using the Glossier Birthday one, whatever that one is, and that's like gritty and kind of awful. These, beautiful, so nice on the lips. This has like a slight purple tint, but you can't really tell. I really like it. It's really nice. It kind of just tastes like grape, but lovely. So then we have lip oils. So I have a little mini Kosas wet lip oil, and I actually have no idea what shade this is in. I want to say this was the birthday gift last year, maybe. Very nice. I have no complaints with this. I'm missing one. I'm missing it, but it's the Kaja lip oil in like a cherry color. I'll have to go looking for it, but that one I'm not super impressed with. I don't love the way it feels. It kind of feels kind of light and like it's going to move off my lips really quickly. And honestly, I feel like I'm going to have to use this again because I don't really remember it. I remember thinking, yeah, that's fine. And it's a good color. But I do remember that Koja one. I was like, oh, don't love that. Rare Beauty lip oil in Honesty. Like this a lot. I've used this a lot because yet again, it's a very neutral color on the lips. It's not too pink. It's not too bright. It's just super neutral. Love these a lot. I like these a lot more than her other lip products. I find that those sit weird and I've decluttered them. This I really like. And then we have my 3 Ilia lip oils, which I believe are like the first lip oils I bought. This is, sorry, the Balmy Gloss in Only You. This one is Petals and this is Maybe Violet. So gorgeous, pinkier, a little brighter, but perfect for summer. I just really enjoy the formula on these. I just feel like they last nicely and they hydrate. That's the word. They hydrate nicely. So no complaints there. So I'm trying to get through like 22 lipsticks a quarter. That obviously did not happen this quarter, but I also used more than 22 last quarter. So I think it kind of evens out. I'm going to have to start wearing full color, brighter, deeper color lipsticks, which is going to be hard because I just want to wear lip oils all the time at the moment. I don't want to wear reds. I don't want to wear bright pinks. I don't want any of that. I just want light washes of color and hydration, but we're going to have to because I need to start kicking it into gear if I want to wear all my lipstick by the end of the year. But I also have a feeling it's going to make me declutter quite a bit because I don't want to. I just don't. Like, I feel like I can own like 1 or 2 reds and 1 or 2 purples. I don't need the like dozen of each I currently own. So get ready for that. It's going to be real interesting. But thank you so much for watching my quarterly update. I would love to know if you're doing anything similar, if you're trying to use up things or just use everything that you own. I feel like it's such a good reminder that I don't need more. Like the birthday gift from Sephora this year being a lip product, I was like, I don't need this, but I own it and I actually really like it. Honestly, I really do like it. I'll talk about that next quarter, but I do really like it. But thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, all the normal stuff, and I'll see you guys again really soon. Bye.